know you're gonna dig this.
A second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and taken out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, kdix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Today is August the 18th, 2025. And guess what, man? We got football right around the corner. Yes, we do. So, look like I might be here by myself for a little while. Guys they got some things pending and they should be going a little bit. Dana and Curry should be calling in as well. But until then, how about we talk a little baseball? But before I do that, um, I want to send out prayers to a classmate of mine, Jimmy White, very close friend of mine. As you guys know, or some people know, that I and I have a chat room with all the guys I went to school with, and we're going to New Orleans this weekend. Jimmy won't be able to make it for health reasons, so make sure you guys say a prayer for Jimmy as well. You know that he recovers. He's recovering well. He just can't travel. You know, he needs to be close to home, just in case something happens. But he's doing fine. He just don't want to take that trip. I mean, we're being in New Orleans. He lives in Tampa. It's not that far away. But again, I totally understand health over happiness when it comes to stuff like this. But he'll be drafting from far off land, but we'll be in New Orleans having some fun doing what we do this weekend. So let that be known. Also, I know that there was a lot of football going on this weekend. Scrimmage games, high school scrimmage games, pee wee scrimmage games, football everywhere, man. You know, if you was itching, you got the itch scratch because it was some football this weekend. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I went to go see Harrisburg scrimmage team out of New Jersey. Offensive line look huge. This had to be a prep team, but from the looks of it, the Harrisburg did pretty good. Um, they should be ready to do something this year. I'm gonna say this, and I think this might be the year. But you know, when you got to play somebody like St. Joe's Prep, who recruits all over the country, and playing the state finals, where you know you have a total of maybe 30 players on your team, and they have a total of 55 to 60 players on the team, and they have an offense and a defense where maybe one or two guys go both ways. You know, it's kind of difficult to beat a team like that. But again, we're up for the challenge to see how well we do. Um, it is what it is, and you know, I wish them the best of luck for this upcoming season. Um, that nobody get hurt, nobody get injured. Play some good football, have some fun when it comes to football. But what we're gonna do right now is so we got Lou on the line. What's up, Lou? Is that Lou? Is that Murray? Is that Mo? Who we got on the line?
How you doing?
Is that Mo?
Yes, me.
Okay, can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay. And then we got Dana on the line. What's up, Dana?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right. So we got them on the line. And so let's go ahead and let's talk about a little baseball for a minute here, man. This day is getting hot and heavy in this baseball thing. Mo in the chat room talking trash about them Yankees and when they didn't won 3 in a row. They're 7-10 in the last. They're 7-3 in the last 10. This is the crazy part, ladies and gentlemen. In the American League East, you have Toronto, who's in first place, right? You got the Boston Red Sox, who are in second place, and you got the Yankees are in third place by half a game or so. But they're saying that the percentage of Red Sox get in the playoffs is 79.9, but the Yankees is 92.8. That means the Yankee schedule might be a little soft, but we'll see where we go. We'll see where this goes. But anyway, American League division in the East, you got Toronto, who's 73 and 52. With 42 and 21 at home, 31 and 31 on the road. I see that as a problem going forward in the playoffs. If you can't play, if you only doing 500 on the road, that's not really good. You're just playing good baseball at home. Who else? We got Lou on the line. What's up, Lou? How you doing, brother?
All right, Kevin, I'm here.
All right, all right. So, and then behind them, we got the Boston Red Sox with 68-57, 5 games out of first place. They're 41 and 23 at home, 27-34 on the road, which is not good. They lost 1 game. They're 4-6 in the last 10. The percentage is 79.1% chance of making the playoffs. New York Yankees, excuse me. New York Yankees are 67-57, 5.5 games out of first place, 37 and 25 at home, 30 and 32 on the road, right? Won 3 games in a row. They're 73 in the last 10. They are 92.8% chance of making the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you how deep this is. Now this is weird because they're only 12 games out of first place, but the Tampa Bay Rays are 61 and 64, 12 games out of first place. 32 and 30 at home, 29 and 34 in a row. They lost 1 game. They 5-5 in the last play. They're 5-5 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is 3.16%. Crazy, huh? Yep. In the Central Division, you got Detroit Tigers, who are 73 and 53, 39-24 at home, 34 and 29 on the road. That's kind of backwards, ain't it? Well, no, not backwards, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But they're plus 80 run differential. Lost 1 game to 7-3 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is 99.9% chance. Cleveland Guardians are 63 and 60. Kansas City Royals are 63 and 61, respectfully. The Guardians are 31 and 31 at home, 32 and 39 on the road, lost 3 in a row. They found 5 last 10. Percentage of making playoffs 15.6. Kansas City Royals are 63 and 61, 9 games out of first place, 33 and 29 at home, 30 and 32 on the road, 1-3 in a row, 7-3 in the last 10, 12.7% chance of making the playoffs. Don't look good for them. Out west, Houston the Astros, who are 69 and 55, 38 and 28, 38 and 27 at home, 31 and 28 on the road. Lost 1 game, 5-5 in the last 10. Percentage of making the playoffs are 92.1. Seattle Mariners are 68 and 57, game and a half out of first place, 37-25 at home, 31 and 32 on the road. Lost 2 games in a row, 64 in the last 10, 92.4% chance of making the playoffs. So you got you got 3 teams. You got 4 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 teams who have a 92 point or better chance of making the playoffs. Texas Rangers are 62 and 63. They have 11.2 chance of making the playoffs. So even the wild card is going to be crazy in the American League. The American League. Let's look at the wild card. So you got Seattle. You got the Red Sox who are 68-57, a minus plus 5. Seattle Mariners are 68 and 57, minus plus 5. New York Yankees are 67 and 57. Evenly, they're even games back, but it drops off from there. So again, those are the same deals that excuse me. Cleveland has no chance of no, they don't have a chance. I don't know if it's they don't have a chance to win a division, or I don't know if they have a chance. It just says POFF playoff. I don't know what that means. Mo, you might know. I don't know, but again, it looked like the Reds. It looked like the Toronto Tigers Astro, Mariners, the Yankees are all teams that have a 92 point percentage or higher of making the playoffs, and then everything else falls into the wild card. This is where it gets interesting in the National League, ladies and gentlemen, because the National League is stacked right now. Philadelphia Phillies are 75, 71 and 53, 37 and 20, 37 21 at home, 34 and 30, 34 and 32 on the road. Won 1 game, 64 in the last 10, 98.8% chance. New York Mets are 66 and 58 respectively. 5 games out of first place, 41 and 24 on home, 25 and 34 on the road. Won 2 games, 3 and 7 in the last 10, 86.1% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody else, they can forget it. Central Division, Milwaukee Brewers, who are cruising, guys. They're cruising. They are 79 and 45, 42 and 20 at home, 37 and 25 on the road. Won 1 game, 9 and 4 in the last 10, 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. Chicago Cubs are 70 and 54, 9 games out of first place, 38 and 24 on the road at home, 32 and 30 away from home. Lost 1 game, 4-6 in the last 10, 98.0% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody else, they can forget about it. Out west, you got the Los Angeles Dodgers, 71 and 53, 41 and 24 at home, 30 and 29 on the road. Won 3 in a row, 5 on the last 10, 99.8% chance of making the playoffs. San Diego Padres, 69 and 55, 2 games in the first place, 38 and 20 at home, 31 and 35 on the road. Lost 3 in a row, 64 in the last 10. They have a 97.2% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody else can forget about it. So, just looking at this right here, the wild card is going to be where all the action is. So you look at the wild card in the National League, right? Um, you can throw the Dodgers in there. You can throw the Dodgers in there, and you can throw let's see the Dodgers. You can throw the Dodgers in there. You can throw the Dodgers in that wild card with the Padres, the Cubs, and I don't know if the Mets is gonna make it in. I really don't believe the Mets will make it in. But but that's the wild card. So in the National League, you got the Cubs, the Padres, the Mets, the Reds, the Cardinals. Um, that's like 5 games, or plus 5 games ahead. I mean, where you got the Cubs are a plus 4-3. I mean, a plus 4. The Padres +3. The Mets are even, and the Cardinals, the Reds are 1.5 games out. So unless something happens really soon, um, we pretty much know who's going to be in. I still don't think that the West is. I don't think the Dodgers have clinched the West. If it comes down to them and Padres, it's a tie because they won they won the tiebreaker by sweeping them with 3 games. But looking at the thing that really gets me, Mo, is that you look at the win columns on away team. You have let me see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 teams that have a winning record on the road. So what is that? What is that telling us, Mo? What is that telling us?
That whole field means nothing.
I knew that.
Exactly. Exactly. We got
I've always said that too.
look like we got Curry on the line with us as well. Curry, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. Hope everybody else is too.
Okay. So I mean, like at the beginning of the year, the Vegas predicted that nobody would win 90 games. Nobody would go over. Nobody would make it to 100 wins. So let's take the Brewers, who have the best record right now. Okay, they have 79 wins. Okay, and they have let me see, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They got 12 series left, right? And that gives let's see here. 12 series is that? Yeah, 12 series, I think it is. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 11, 13, 16, 19, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 30. That gives them 36 games left. So in order for them to win 100 games, they would almost have to win every game from here on out, and we know that's not going to happen because it's so tight now. They are playing the best baseball right now per se, um, in baseball right now. They're playing the best baseball. Them guys are on a roll. You know what I'm saying? They done had a couple streaks where they won 14 and 15 games and things of that nature. Um, so um, that right there, that right there tells us, 69 wins, and that means they would have to win 21 games out of those 30 some games. It's a possibility, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to see a lot of teams they're going to try. They're trying to win right now to get their feet wet to get into that in the playoffs. So that's where it's at, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to baseball. Right now. So also the commissioner just came out and said that, Curry, you might find this real interesting that they're looking to expand and they're looking to change the narrative of how Major League is set up right now, which I really don't agree with this at all. So let me just find an article that this numbnuts um brought up. I'm not down with this dude, man. I can't. His tenor can't come fast enough. So, Curry, this is the two teams they're saying their likelihood to get expansion baseball teams. Okay, which kind of shocked me was Nashville, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City. Those are two teams they said are right now are the front runners to get baseball. I don't.
Based on what?
Would you say?
What are they basing that on?
They're based on some numbers that I saw here, and let me see if I can pull that up.
I think they have a good mileage system though.
You know what? I got rid of the article. I think I did. I think I read the article, but it's based on TV revenue and something else. That's what it's based on. But these are all these are all the cities that might compete to get an expansion team. You have Austin, San Antonio, Charlotte, which you had brought up earlier, Mexico City, Montreal, Orlando, Portland, Oregon, Raleigh, San Jose, and Salt Lake City. So we know San Jose is probably going to be where the Athletics hang their hat. Um, if Tampa moves, it might be to Orlando. Dana, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think they may move to Orlando? What's the talking down that way?
That'll be a good idea.
Okay, okay.
Orlando,
So now the only one that kind of scratches my head too is the Mexico City. So if you take a team down to Mexico City, I mean that means you leave in the United States. That means you need a passport, right? To come and go, and if you want to see your team play, if you become a person in the United States that like this team in Mexico City, uh, I haven't heard any good things about Mexico City. I mean, I know that they make things right when football comes down there, but what happens when football goes away? What happens when the basketball team goes away? How does that city react? on a daily basis if that's where a team's gonna, make that's where they're gonna make their living quarters at. That's the only thing I don't have. I really don't know about that one at all. I'm kind of curious why Portland, Oregon would be in there too. That's kind of strange on their part as well. Um, but I'm surprised Charlotte is not the front runner though, Curry, because we did talk about that. But then you got Charlotte and you got Raleigh. You got two cities within a state, like you got San Antonio and Austin within one state. You know, and that's about it right there. Those are the teams. Those are the cities that they're talking about making an expansion team. And then they want to run. They want to change the alignment. They said, where's that here? So it says according to Passon, Nashville, Salt Lake City are the two cities that would be the front runner of the line whenever MLB does eventually decide to make a move or expansion. The last realignment occurred before the 2013 season, where the Houston Astros went from the NL Central to the AL West to give both leagues 15 teams. The move was done because there was no need to have an even number of clubs in both leagues since MLB adopted year-around interleague play. While specifics about what a radical realignment might look like won't be known until it actually happens, Passon offered one example of a division with the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, the Boston Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays, all being the same division. Now, so what they're looking, so if you think about that, the alignment is going to be based on where you're located at. So just think about so if you think about that right there, and you go back, and I'm just going to look at the Dodgers. It would be the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, um, and Seattle. Oh no, it'd be the Angels. It would be the Angels. So they all would be in the same division because they're saying the travel. They want to cut down on the travel. I'm not. I'm not too. I'm not too warm and fuzzy and cozy with that thought process. Curry, what's your thoughts on that?
The one thing I don't understand, to your point, is why they don't have Charlotte as a front runner, because there's no baseball team. Anybody that goes to a Major League Baseball team from North Carolina normally goes to Atlanta and to see the Braves. And most people have probably adopted the Braves as their team because they're the closest team to us. And then if you want to go north, you got to go all the way to Baltimore to see the Orioles. So there's a huge gap right there that you can capture some fans in the Virginia market, the North Carolina market, as well as the South Carolina market, just to be right here in the state of North Carolina, to put a team in Charlotte, or for that matter, you didn't mention Charlotte, but I think Charlotte would be the best as far as realignment. Well, I mean, I would be okay with realignment because it's, there used to be a time, and you remember this, Kevin, when it was only two divisions. You had the East and the West.
Right.
And the Braves was over there in the West with the Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres, and all those people, and the Reds.
Yeah.
So so St. Louis Cardinals might have been in the East, but
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
yeah, I would be okay with the realignment part of it, but I just would like to see them consider Charlotte over Utah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't know how Utah got. Y'all know how Utah got in there. Mo, what's your thoughts on that realignment? Would you want to see the Mets all year long? Would you be okay with that one?
I like the way that it is now. I think if you bring in two teams, bring one on the East, one on the American League, one in the National League. I don't think it makes sense to realignment.
So you saying you don't like the realignment?
No, I don't.
Okay. Dana, do you like the? Dana, would you like the realignment?
long as they keep the Braves in the National League.
that. So let's look at the Braves real quick. So we look at Atlanta. Okay, so if you do Atlanta, you're looking at Baltimore and Atlanta. That's two teams right there. Then you're looking at Price, the Cardinals, and maybe Pittsburgh. That could be a division. Yeah, this would it would be really hard to do this though, because you like the one they just said, that it would be really hard. But it depends on, some people probably wouldn't mind the division, making the alignment and doing the alignment, but it depends on what division, what conference they're in. If they're in the American League or the National League, that might make a difference. You know what I'm saying? I wonder, I wonder how that would affect the Art Star game as well. How would they try to, put some kind of joystick into some kind of joystick into the All Star game as well, to make it a little bit different. So, I mean, change is okay sometimes, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know about in Major League Baseball. I really don't know about that.
Where is Baltimore going to be hanging to in the division?
They
I don't think you mentioned that.
They said that it would be let me go back to the article real quick. So they said it would be the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, the Boston Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays will be in a division by themselves. That would be the four in that division. Yeah. So you got three. You basically got three national. You got three American League teams, and the Mets would be the National League team. So now, would the Mets, even if that's a conference, do they keep American League Conference, or do they keep do they keep the conferences going on? They didn't really mention if that would be the case, if it'd be American League or National League. If they just made it all one conference, then what do you do? You know what I'm saying? How do you make things that would make it really interesting if they were to do that? But it's just thoughts. Yeah. And I don't know if baseball is at that. I don't know if baseball has gotten that comfortable with America that they can go out and change things around. If you guys really think about this baseball season, it's probably been one of the better baseball seasons we've had in a long, long time, where nobody's basically run away from anything other than Milwaukee, who's been playing really, really good baseball, but the Cubs are only 9 games out of first place again. So I wouldn't mind a change if it's gonna be for the better of the baseball, you know. So we'll see how that works out for us in the long run. All right, guys. You guys got anything else for baseball?
Anything? Yeah, I'd like to mention, you was talking about the Milwaukee Brewers reaching 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very doable for the Brewers to make it to win 21 games out of 30-some games. Because if you look at their last 30 games, they're 26-4 over their last 30 games.
Yeah,
and then they had a 14 game streak in there too. So, I seriously think they can win 21 games.
But the reason why I said I don't think it's possible, because every team they playing has something to do. Well, Arizona, let's say, okay, Chicago's still in the running. San Francisco's not there. Arizona's not there. Toronto got something to play for. Philly got something to play for.
I don't know.
Pittsburgh doesn't have nothing to play for.
No.
Pittsburgh has nothing to play for, right? Texas had nothing to play for. St. Louis had nothing to play for. Los Angeles Angels have something to play for, just for giggles. The Cardinals have nothing. The Padres do, and neither do Cincinnati. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series. So you got 5 series, and let's say San Francisco 3, Arizona 4. That's 7.
Mhm.
Pittsburgh is 3. That's 10. Texas is 3. That's 13. St. Louis is 3. That's 16. They play St. Louis again. That's 18. Hey, Curry, you might be correct, man. They might be able to get
Well,
to.
listen to this though. This scenario. Okay, so if you don't think that they can get to 100 wins, and they're at 45 losses now, but if not to make 100 wins, that would mean they'd have to lose a minimum of 63 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they can. I don't think they're going to lose 63
No,
games total.
no, I don't.
They only got 45 losses now.
Yeah, and looking at the teams that looking at the teams they play right now, they have a chance of getting that. They have a chance of getting that 100 wins because you got teams that don't
They
have
do.
nothing.
Really do.
You have teams right now that are not going to play for anything, and just for pride, you know what I'm saying. But they're not even in the runnings no more. So we don't know how that's going to turn out. So there's a good possibility that they could do something. A very very good possibility they could definitely do something. All right. Anybody else got anything for baseball? All righty, all righty. Let's jump into basketball.
I forgot it.
Let's jump into basketball real quick. So let me see. Did we anybody pop on the line? So here we got. Okay, so we got everybody still here. I got a couple people listening in, which is good. Hey, so the Warriors. What is up with the Warriors right now, guys? I need to know what's going on. Kapinga, I mean, how you say his name?
Kaminga.
Kaminga wants a new contract with a no trade clause in the
Mhm.
contract. Um, Curry, I'm gonna ask you. Mo, I'm gonna ask you a question, and be honest with me, because it's time for you got to put on your analyst hat and not be a Celtic fan right now. Did Kapinga?
Okay.
I keep calling Kapinga. Kaminga, did Kaminga do enough in the playoffs that he warrants just a no trade clause?
No, of course not.
Why you think so?
I mean, he was good, but he wasn't an all-star. He wasn't. He didn't show that he was like one of the best 3 players on Golden State. So
But
to
you,
get a no trade clause, you got to be one of one.
but you know what though? Do you know he's the leading scorer in the playoffs for that team?
As in amount of points, because Curry didn't play a couple of games, or points per game.
I'm just saying the article I got. Hey, what's up, Rich?
What's going on?
Amount of points.
All right. Hey, can you guys hear Rich? Say something, Rich.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So what is basically what it's saying here? It says a 20-year-old Jonathan Kaminga is still sitting untouched, restricted free agent, and there is no real end in sight of the negotiations between him and the Warriors. The former seventh round overall pick is coming off a roller coaster 2024-25 campaign, where he went from being being out of the rotation entirely to the Warriors' leading scorer in the playoff series, all within a couple of weeks. Now, Kaminga is asking for average annual salary of $30 million per year, but so far the Warriors' best offer to him has been a 2-year worth $45 million. A minimum surprise. Kaminga continues to decline this offer. Okay, Golden State has renewed push to retain Jonathan Kaminga, by the restricted free agent continues to decline a 2-year, $45 million offer due to Warriors' insistencies on a team option and waiving a built-in no trade clause, sources tell ESPN. Kaminga likely to return to Golden State Warriors. So basically, he's thinking he signs this deal for him, but All-Star break he's probably gonna get moved, right? because they're do anybody here think that they're better than after all the moves that have been made in the offseason? Do you think Golden State's better than OKC? Do you think they're better than the T Wolves? Do you think they're better than less even the Lakers? Because Lakers made some moves this year. They made some they made some moves this offseason. So do you think they're better than Houston Rockets? Do you think they're better than the Denver Nuggets? Do you think they're better than the Clippers? Do you think they're better than Minnesota? And these are all the teams that 1 through 6, and they were the 7th seed. So do you think they got better than any of those teams this year through free agency, through trade, through draft, that will cause them to and the reason why I'm asking you, the reason why I'm saying, do you think they got any better? And if you say no, I'm gonna say this is why he wants that no trade clause in there, because what would have happened if he signs the deal that they're giving him, they're gonna trade him, right? But now, just think about this. He was on the bench not being played until somebody got hurt. He gets back, he gets on the floor, and he does his thing. He shoots his three, he does whatever. Curry comes back and he has to eat crow because he made a comment about him playing, and then he had to rely on him to play. And now that he relied on play, now he's back talking about how much we want him on the team. He's a great asset to the team. We really want him on the team. So now, if you're him and you his agent, wouldn't you want a no trade clause? If you can get that, why not get that? Now I'm gonna say this though. If I'm him, I'm taking the money, and I'm gonna take what you want to give me, but we got to compromise. I want a no trade clause. I want to be traded to the team I want to be traded to, not to the team you're gonna trade me to, because the team you trade me to is gonna benefit you more so than it's gonna benefit me, because they could trade him away to whoever and just get draft choices back or whatever the case may be, because now his money part of it is not a factor. And again, sometimes you don't with draft picks, you don't know. You don't know what your draft picks look like. So you don't know who you're gonna pick, but there still has some value. It don't really have don't have a lot of value until you draft somebody. Then that draft pick becomes triple of what the draft pick was. You see what I'm saying? So with Kaminga, I get his point. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, if this is what you want to pay me, okay, I'm cool with that. But I want the no trade clause in there. If you don't want to give me the no trade clause, then ship me out somewhere. Ship me to wherever you want to send me to. Because at the end of the day, I gotta do what's best for me. Because during the season, you did what's best for you. You didn't take me off the bench. Everybody thought I was a bust. And soon as I got in the playoffs against the Minnesota T Wolves, I balled out. Now all of a sudden everybody's eating goat. Now eating crow. Now everybody back talking about how they feel about that guy. So Curry, so Mo, because Rich just got off. Mo, so what's your thoughts again on Kaminga? Do you think that he should sign that contract, or do you think he should wait?
I don't think so. I think he could keep flexibility
Say that again.
within his best interest. He could keep the flexibility.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got a comment on that topic at all before we move on to the next topic? Okay. Oh, we getting just moving out right now, 7:30. So the next topic I got coming up, right, is dealing with the NBA. As we know, teams are being sold fast, quick, in a hurry. And now there's a hold up with the Celtics being bought out now. I don't know exactly what's going on, but something came across my watch saying there's a hold up now on the sellers of the team. I have no idea. Mo, I don't know if you know what's going on with that team or not, but I know there's an issue. I don't know if it's gonna be worked out or not, but hopefully it will be. So this is my thought process, and this is what I read, the article I read, is that I think the reason why teams are being sold right now is because they don't like the way this cap is, this apron thing is, because you get penalized for building a good team and you're paying your good players for doing a good job. Okay. The only team that probably won't this probably won't affect in the near future will be Oklahoma City because Oklahoma City has cap room, they have draft choices, and they could trade away certain players and get draft picks back, right? But we just saw what happened to Boston, okay? And we pretty much know that if Jason Tatum wouldn't have got hurt, I don't know if they'd split that team up. I think they would have, because every Jalen Brown was hurt. Um, uh, Porzingis was hurt. Um, Hauser had got hurt during the series. So there's a lot of players that got hurt in that series. So I don't know if they would have separated that team, but because he got hurt, they had to do what they had to do because they didn't want to pay those luxury taxes of losing draft picks and things of that nature. But this is an article that I read, which kind of makes sense on my thought process. It says in 2025, the NBA offseason has been a reality check for just how deeply the league collective bargaining agreement is changing the transaction cycle that was. For many years, one of the most exciting periods of sports calendar was the uh, most NBA analysts framed the new CBA as an effort to enforce a hard cap and driven parity at the top of the standings. However, ESPN analyst Richard Jefferson believes it has caused of unforeseen shifts in the hearts of many owners groups around the league. Now, guys, remember this. The reason why they came up with this apron situation is because the Golden State Warriors had won titles back to back, skipped a year, and they said they were losing money. Okay, he even said if we would have won 7 game series, we still would have lost money. But as an owner, I'm saying I don't care about losing money if I'm winning titles. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it up some kind of way. I'm gonna make that money up some kind of way. And if you're that tight with money, then you shouldn't be. In my personal opinion, you shouldn't be owner. Okay. It says around the same time the CBA was passed in 2023, owners of many of the league's premier franchises began to sell their teams. In the past 2 years, the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Lakers have changed hands, with small teams like Milwaukee Bucks, Charlotte Hornets, and the Portland Trailblazers following suit. Jefferson believes that this is because the NBA lessened the value of great ownership by punishing teams who assemble elite rosters, spend big money, and win. With the CBA teams, with this CBA teams are screwed. That's why all the owners are getting out. That part of the reasoning why the owners are selling, all the current owners are getting out. That's part of the conversation. It's not just owners that want to stack the deck. It's not just the Lakers and Celtics and Charlotte, so Portland Trailblazers. So they're looking at the excuse me. They're looking at it like even if I do a good job and I field a good team, it's going to cost me so much money to keep a good team. That's a formula success. And when you can say parity, but the parity is all going to spill down into the worst teams. Throughout the opening week of the NBA free agency, commentators were almost unanimously in a view that the harsh new rules of the CBA are harming fans' experience with the sport. On NBA TV, shortly after the opening bell of the new league year on Monday evening, insider Chris Haynes shared a note from a high-ranking sources, warning the league needs to remember that free agency is entertainment. The next day on podcast, Bill Simmons called the new CBA one of the worst things that ever happened to sports. Sounds bad. It certainly appears to be a limit it appears to limit players' movement this year. Many moves that did happen were clearly motivated by cap sheets and future financial troubles. But Jefferson went on beyond the fan experience of watching the ESPN Sports Center specialist or Bleacher Report live stream and explain why owners are jumping ship. The phase ownerships is the biggest competitive advance in NBA. We're popularizing by the athletic Danny Leroy's last decade. Owners today may not believe it to be true. If Jefferson is correct in his analysis of this trend, it raises the question of why new owners invest in the NBA. The answer is based on those who bought in lately, because be an effort to diversity profiles, venture capital firms, sports investment groups, and real estate managements are acquiring teams to exact more value for them in investments. And more
Right.
Jefferson's comment would mean that winning is less of a priority. The old guard thinks that winning was incentive under the new league rules. The new guards doesn't mind if that's true. NBA fans, broadcast partners, and leagues officials are likely hoping that the Jefferson is wrong because it would seem to spell worse future for the NBA and off the court product. So guys, this gonna lead this probably leads into the next to our next topic if possible. But man, this doesn't even make sense. Dana, what's your thoughts on this, man? Everybody agreed to this.
Well,
The owners agreed to it. The players agreed to it. And now that they see it in fruition, they're not happy. Go ahead, Dana.
yeah. And it's basketball, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's like now to me it's getting better. You know, you got the young teams coming up. If I'm heading in the right direction with the discussion, I mean now you have a lot of that stuff going on. What they call it? What's the word?
Parity.
Okay, I'm stuck. But yeah, like the new teams that's coming on, like the Oklahoma.
Mhm.
You got one of the Rockets.
Yeah.
So
But
I don't know if it's getting worse, but I think it's getting better with the new teams coming up though.
but if you looked at in the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, Oklahoma City, I think they had the not the best. Did they have the best record last year or close to the best record? I can't remember. Um,
Mhm.
but you saw what Houston was doing. Okay, you saw they was going to be good. Oklahoma City is going to be good. Denver's competitive. The Clippers are older, but they're competitive. Minnesota, they need to tweak some things to be competitive. Um, those are top six teams. In the East, you got Cleveland Cavaliers, who gonna probably be in that second apron by All-Star break. Gonna have some issues. Boston's underneath the first apron, trying to get underneath the second apron. The Knicks are probably over both aprons. The Pacers are probably gonna try to get underneath the apron. The Bucks are probably over the apron. The Pistons are probably under the apron, but they're looking good. Pistons is a team that everybody's looking out for. They're like the Oklahoma City
Yeah,
Thunder, right?
Yeah.
up and coming young team.
But then it falls off. You got the Magic, the Heat, the Hawks, the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? And all those, and I get it, but Oklahoma City is probably the only team that's probably in a situation where it doesn't really hurt them again because they're under the salary cap, way under the salary cap, and they got gazillion of draft picks, right? So when you got gazillion of draft picks, you can let somebody walk like the kid that tore his ACL last year that played this year, right? That helped them win a championship. So now he's playing, he's balling out. So now you got to make room for him. So what's going to happen to him? Do you trade him? Does he stay and somebody else go? So they can just go through the mill and just pluck anybody they got on their bench that's younger, and to keep them competitive. As long as you keep your core players there, you're fine. You got to pay your core players. But now that they know about the apron, they know how to fix the salary so that it doesn't really hurt them in the long run. You know, but again, Golden State was the one that did this. They caused all of this. Now teams are being I'm being surprised. I'm really totally surprised when the Los Angeles Lakers sold. When Jeannie Buss sold the Lakers, I was like, yo, what is going on? And that's what made me want to go out and check out. That's what made me want to look and see why she'd be willing to trade. I mean, willing to sell the team. You know, because now you have to get some minds in there that's going to figure this. I think this math. They got to figure out how to make the math like the math be mathing now, because you got older GMs that's in the league and that they don't understand the apron part of it. So you got to find somebody in here, accountant or whoever, and say, hey, if you take A minus squared to B plus squared and subtract this guy and get this guy that, then we can be under the cap. That's basically what's going on. You know what I'm saying? When you draft, don't draft this guy in the first round. Trade that draft pick to somebody else, and we'll draft the guy in the second round, which now his money's not guaranteed. And we can put him on a two-way contract. So now we stay underneath the apron. This is what's going to happen. You know. So I don't know. It's a mess to me. They should just left it like it was and kept it moving. Anybody got comments on that one?
No, that's just a mess. Other than that,
Okay.
But that's what we wanted, though. Parity.
Yeah, we do. There's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But again, if let's say Oklahoma doesn't win the title next year, then it falls right in line with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a year to celebrate in somebody else. Like I think Houston's right there. With the addition of Kevin Durant, if he can stay healthy, they could give them a run for the money. The Lakers gotten better, but they're still not where they need to be as far as winning a title. I'm a little scared of I'm really scared of the Nuggets for real. In the East, it should be Cleveland, New York. There should be no ifs, ands, about it. It should be Cleveland, New York that gets to the finals. And you got Detroit right there that's creeping up on everybody else. They can't creep no more because they see them coming. You know, and the Pacers, if they can stay healthy, they're another team that could be doing something. You know, so there's a possibility that there could be another champion other than Oklahoma City Thunder that's coming in. But the thing about it is that the owners ain't happy because now they're losing money, really losing money, and that's why now the owners are getting out of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple more teams be up for sale in the near future because of the way the apron is construed. Because excuse me, because when you go over the second apron, now they get into you can't trade this pick, or you lose a draft pick. Things that excuse me, things of that nature. So it's gonna get really complicated, All right, so we're gonna jump into. Oh, we're working good right now. So let's look at some college football, right? So we're looking at the college football, and I want to talk about the Michigan Wolverines. Do we got any fans that are Michigan Wolverines on the line right now? Because I'm going to talk about them. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it.
No.
So we know Michigan got caught stealing, right? Sign stealing operations. And I don't think the punishment fits the crime, to be honest with you. So this is the release of what happened. It says sign stealing operation. Former football staff Connor Stanley is accused of breaking NCAA advanced scouting rules by sending people to games involving future Michigan opponents to gather cell phone footage of sideline signals. The Big Ten suspended then head coach Jim Harbaugh for the following 3 regular season games of the 23 season. During the investigation, Michigan has self-imposed a very specific 2-game suspension for current head coach Sharon Moore this year. Moore will miss the second and third game of the season against Central Michigan and Nebraska. Whoop-de-doo. Michigan did not suspend him for the first 2 games because they're playing Oklahoma in week 2, and that's where Moore played college ball. I don't care; he gets suspended for that too. So far, this hasn't been confirmed evidence that Harbaugh, Moore, or anyone else on the staff knew what Stallings was up to do a direct up to or direct him to break NCAA rules. But still, there's a question in situational control and how the universe handles situations. The Wolverines went on to win the national championship in 2013. NCAA president, that's wrong, because that should have been 2023. NCAA president Charlie Baker quickly went on record to defend the title, saying it was won fair and square. We all agree it wasn't one fair and square because you got caught cheating. They say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. In sports, that's the same thing. Here's a list of punishments. Okay. Here's the full list of punishments for Michigan, Sharon Moore, and 3 former staff members. 4-year Michigan program gets 4 years of probation. A $50,000 fine, $50,000 fine plus 10% of the budget for the football program, which they're going to make that up in gates. They're going to raise the price of tickets to get that money back. We know that already. A fine equal to anticipated losses of postseason competition revenue sharing for the 2025-26 season, likely more than $20 million per cause. A fine equals a fine equal to cost of 10% of the scholarships awarded to Michigan State program for 25-26 academic year. A 25% reduction in football officials visiting during the 25-26 season. A 14-week probation on recruiting communications in the football program during probation period. Sharon Moore, 2 years show cause order. He's suspended from a total of 3 games. Apart from 3 games suspension, Moore cannot coach, engage, or nothing. Jim Harbaugh, 10 years. He has a 10-year showcase order that restricts him from any athletical related activities during the period which begins on August 7th, 2028, with current shows for previous cases in. So that means he can't deal with. He can't do nothing. He can't have nothing affiliated with Michigan at all. Connor Stallion, an 8-year showcase order restricted him from all athletic-related activities. Denard Robinson, a 3-year showcase order restricted him from athletic-related activities. Curry, was it enough?
Yeah, that's pretty, man. I don't see the problem with what they did. I mean, you setting up all these fake signs and putting up because you know that somebody could be stealing your signs, and you just got to do a better job of making your signals. Because I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, really. I really don't. If you're doing something that you steal, that's like baseball. They get mad because they think you stealing signs from them. They want to fight you over it. Change the signs.
Okay. Dana,
you gotta do. Why you gonna run the same signs every week?
Okay. Dana, you have a problem with it?
I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. Until they get caught. I mean,
well, they got caught.
Harbaugh. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Harbaugh, they knew what they were doing. You just have to, like kids do it when they get a puppy. When them dogs keep on the rug, they act like they don't see it. They start smearing. So,
okay.
So,
okay.
So that's what I think college football is going through.
Okay.
They don't care until they start smearing and they get caught.
Mo,
I think everybody do something in college.
Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
Does New England still have 6 championships?
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Unfortunately. There it is right there. It really don't matter.
Okay. Mr. Bennett.
Tom Brady didn't know.
Mr. Bennett, we got you on the line.
Sean Payton didn't know.
We're talking about the Michigan.
Everybody didn't know. So it doesn't really matter.
We're talking about the Michigan scandal and the punishment they got. I don't know if you know what they got, but it was really mild. What's your thoughts, Mr. Bennett, on Michigan? They really didn't get they didn't go to bowl games. They gonna pay money back and things of that nature. But they'll recoup that by raising the ticket prices. But what's your thoughts on the Michigan situation if you read up on it at all?
Here's my take. I think at this level that we're on now, that there's a lot of echo. That's why I'm pausing.
Okay.
There are 2 levels of professional teams. There's the NFL, And then there's college football. College football is the lower level of professional football. You can't put judgment or fines on these people because there's no civility. It's a professional league, college football now. So it makes me laugh when you talk about fines and all of these things, and players are leaving from teams to teams, coaches. It's professionalism. So they're going to get fined. So what? Like you said, they're going to recruit that money.
Yeah.
It's a professional league. So we got to stop saying these are amateur things and this is college football.
Okay.
Those days are gone.
Okay. Now, me personally, not that I'm a Penn State fan, because I could care less, but when you got when you had a guy come on the side, when the guy dresses up in your gear that he probably bought at the store to get on your sidelines to listen in to what's going on and record stuff like that, I have a problem with that. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna say that Harbaugh didn't know this guy was doing this. I think he did this on his own for real, because I don't think Harbaugh would go to that extent to want to cheat that bad to win football games when he know that he can beat Ohio State on any given day, twice on Saturdays and Sundays. But that's the only thing that bothers me, is that I don't really think he knew about it. But the way the guy went about doing it was horrible. I think there should be more. I think it should have been more to what he did than what they gave him. But again, like you guys saying, it's the way of life in college football. And sooner or later, the NCAA is they're gonna depart their ways, and they're gonna move on to something bigger and better, because NCAA is trying to rule college football, and they're basically getting away from NCAA when it comes to things. Real quick, guys, before we move on to the NFL. So I'm looking at college football, and I went to look at the strength of schedule, right? And the strength of schedule, believe it or not, this is the honest to God truth, that there's not one team in the top 10 they're in the top 10 of the strength of schedule. And it kind of, I'm trying to figure this thing out here. Like, I'm listening to sports radio, and they're telling me that Penn State is going to win a national championship, and I'm like, nah, I'm a Penn State fan. They might make the playoffs, but I'm telling you right now, with that schedule, they got that cupcake schedule. They only got beat Ohio State. If they beat Ohio State, they could go undefeated for real. Other than that, but again, because they don't have Michigan this year.
Undefeated, really?
But this is the top 10, right? Ranked right now. Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami are the top 10. Strength of schedule.
The only reason why the Texas, I think, is number one is all the hype surrounding Manning, Arch Manning, and they're all getting all talked about, and I think it's part of the reason why Texas is number one, even though I don't think they're going to be deserving of that rank.
And I'm gonna speak on Texas real quick after we get done with this, Lou. So strength of schedule, they have Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Wisconsin, Syracuse, TCU, Rutgers, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Iowa State. Now, isn't it kind of funny that you have Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State from the SEC that has the toughest schedule, and in the top 10 you have Georgia, Alabama, LSU's they're in the ACC, right? Or ACC. But yeah, okay. So you got Georgia and Alabama in the top 10, but they're nowhere close to being in the top 10. And I'm just looking right now and from the top. So believe it or not, LSU is at 12. It was a tougher schedule, and they're ranked 9th, right? LSU is 9th. Oregon is 22nd. Penn State's 25th. Ohio State's 28th. Notre Dame's 34. Clemson is 39. Wow.
Yeah.
And we have Miami is 54th, Alabama 55th. Wow. So again, I'm just trying to figure that thing out about the strength of schedule. I mean, some people may say it doesn't. I always talk about it when it comes to NFL, but in college football, I think that strength of schedule means more because you pick and choose who you play, right? You pick and choose who you play, and this is what bothers me about being a Penn State fan. This is what bothers me, right? And you can pick them. You get to pick your teams 2 to 3 years out, right? 2 to 3 years out. Penn State had an opportunity. Where's that? Let me see ranking. Penn State had an opportunity to play Alabama this year and next year. They both of them backed out. But I'm just using Pennsylvania. They got Nevada, FIU, Villanova, Oregon's number 7, right? UCLA not ranked, Northwestern's not ranked, Iowa's not ranked, Michigan State's not ranked, Nebraska's not ranked, Rutgers not ranked. That's what this schedule's like. It's not making any sense to me. It really not making any sense to me. You know, and I know they go off of, and like I think something came out today about Penn State having the most All-Americans on their team. But again, I think the strength of schedule, and when you do your schedule, when you know, like I said, the schedule's out 2 years, every 2 years, their schedule's already out. So you got these cupcake teams, right? So now hopefully they'll get rid of these cupcake teams and they'll start playing some real competition in the near future. Like I'm gonna give you, for example, like Lou was talking about Texas. Now Texas is number 1, but Texas is going on the road to play Ohio State. That's what we want to see, right? That's what that's the kind of games we want to see. We don't want to see just anybody playing. We want to see those types of games. Anybody got any comments on the strength of schedule or the college top 10 or anything of that nature? Any comments at all?
Here's the thing. You have to decide whether or not you're going to have a tough schedule and not make the playoffs, or have a lenient schedule and be in a position to win a national championship.
So I'm going to do Penn State schedule to let me see, 20, I'm gonna go 2027. Okay. So let me see what we got here. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, where is it at? I saw it before. Penn State. No, I can't find it right now. But again, like so they have Penn State has I think they're talking about doing something with Pitt. I know for a fact, but Pitt still is not where they need to be. Um but like Ray said, do you want to win a national championship or do you want to just get in the playoffs? And the thing about it is the recruiting part of it is probably balanced out throughout throughout college because everybody's being seen on TV now with the streaming. You ain't got to go far to be seen. You don't have to go far to be seen on television. Um, so that you can't use that as a reason why you should go here or go there because again, you get to see everybody. You get to see everybody. You know, I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning, not Peyton, but the Manning son, the grandson, whatever he is, if he had to pick a school to go to, Texas might not have been the school he really wanted to go to, but they gave him a full ride. But again, he could have, he probably went to somewhere else. Because I mean, let's think about it. I can't remember the last Texas quarterback that really did anything in the pros because they run that run option pass offense compared to, and he's more of a pocket passing quarterback. So does that really fit his needs to go to the next level? Does the footwork
The NIL money.
that got a lot to do with it too. That definitely got a lot to do with it. I'm glad you brought that up, Ray. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's where we are with that right there. So if we don't have any more questions, if no more anybody got any questions about college football? If not, we can move on to what everybody want to talk about is NFL football. So the question is to everybody out there: what second-year quarterback do you guys see having the best season? So these are second-year quarterbacks that I can think of. If I'm missing somebody, please let me know. I got Drake May, Bo Nix, Jane Daniels, and Cabe Williams. Is there anybody else out there that I'm missing? I'm not going to put in my man from Atlanta because he didn't start the full season. But these are quarterbacks that started the full season. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm drinking the Bo Nix Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it. I am drinking it. The coach out there, he got it going on, man. He's a guy. He's a quarterback whisperer. Drew Brees, 6 foot, maybe 5'11", quarterback, went Super Bowl, breaks all kind of passing records. Went to Purdue with New Orleans. He just did a phenomenal job with him. And he's doing the same thing with Bo Nix. That's the guy I'm drinking the Kool-Aid with. I think he's gonna have probably the best second. I think he's gonna have the best second. The sophomore, the best. He's gonna have the best sophomore season out of all the quarterbacks. Behind him, I gotta say, I want to say Drake May because I think they're gonna put an offense around him. It's gonna make him really comfortable on how to play. He got his footwork together, things of that nature. I'm not taking anything from Daniels, but until they sign that Terry McClure, I think they take a step back because this kid is he's part of the reason why they got to where they got to. And if you think about what Denver did, they signed Cortland back, which was a big part of the offense. They got they got a really good defense. We got a bunch of no-namers on there. But I'm drinking the Kool-Aid of Bo Nix. So
I got a question for you.
go ahead, Curry.
What I mean, you got to help me out with this. How can you call Sean Payton a quarterback whisperer? I mean, what quarterback did he develop?
Drew Brees?
He didn't develop Drew Brees. Drew Brees was developed before he got there.
Mm.
Drew Brees fell in his lap. The only reason he got Drew Brees was because the Dolphins took Culpepper instead.
Right. I'm not.
If the Dolphins had taken Culpepper, Drew Brees fell in his lap. Only reason the Dolphins didn't take him because they were scared of his shoulder. They didn't think he was healed enough, but they knew he could play. They knew he could play. So, and again, I asked you, why is he a quarterback whisperer? What did he do with the quarterbacks after Brees?
Well, he didn't have any. I'm gonna say this. He wasn't in a position to. They weren't in a draft position to get a quarterback to replace Drew Brees. I think they were probably looking and searching for somebody.
He didn't need a draft. He's already a quarterback whisperer, as you say.
But I think you got to.
So he should be developing these guys on. He's got on his team.
But I think you have to have a certain type of talent for him. But the thing about it is, with what he did out in Seattle, what he did in in Denver, is he told um Russell Wilson, I don't need you here. I can't win nothing with you. Bo Nix goes out there and gets in the playoffs his first year. So he must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that
He's not even an
him being
offensive
underneath him,
coach.
and would you say
Sean
Rich?
Payton's Sean Payton's a defensive coach. He's not even an offensive coach. He's a defensive coach. That's what he prides his all of his teams on, was their defense, because that's
Oh,
the kind of coach he is.
right. But I'm just saying, but when it comes to quarterbacks, he knows what he's doing. And Curry, I get what you're saying about Drew Brees, right? But then look what he put around Drew Brees, and for Drew Brees to be maybe 6 foot, maybe 5'11", who knows? He came in there and he was slinging that thing down there. The offense that he had down there excelled with Drew Brees. And if he's teaching the same thing to Bo Nix, right? I don't see why it can't happen with Bo Nix as well, because again, he's a rookie quarterback, and he took him to the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback. I think I'm just saying, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm just saying, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not and I think, like I said, I think Drake May too will be a good quarterback. I'm not taking nothing from Daniels. It's just that if they don't sign Terry McLaurin back, that's a step backwards. This shit we and to be honest with you, we shouldn't even having this conversation about him not being with him not being with the Washington Commanders. That should have been, they should have signed him. And the only thing he wants a longer contract. This is the last year of his contract. Only thing he wants is a contract extension. I don't understand why they can't give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to help this guy develop into be the best quarterback he possibly can. And I think that's what Denver did with Bo Nix is they signed all the pieces they needed to sign, and now we're gonna see how it develops. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Kansas City wins that division, it ain't gonna be by much, because I think the Chargers and the Broncos are right there. The Broncos got a really good defense as well. You know, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. Um, Dana, who you think could be that? Who's the quarterback that you think you can drink the Kool-Aid for is gonna have a great second season?
Second season, I'm gonna go with Bo Nix.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Bo Nix.
Okay. And what did you seeing with him that made you choose him, or was it just my conversation?
That that camaraderie with Sean Payton.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, he created Drew Brees, so he's gonna work on another monster with this guy.
Curry, who you got?
I'm going with Drake May, as much as I hate to see it. I just think that they put the most around him, and I don't like the way they did it, but they did it, so it's done. Because when they had the coach that was there last year, was only there for a year, they didn't put nothing around him, and all of a sudden, they just put him there as a band-aid and fired him after 1 year. And then when they brought Vrabel in, they start stacking players and putting all these players around. But I think Drake May is going to probably have the best this shit. I don't look for them to win division, and don't really make to make the playoffs, but I think they'll at least win 8, maybe 9 games.
Okay. Okay. Ray, who you got?
I think Caleb Williams. They have went out and fixed the offensive line, added more weapons for him, and they have a quarterback whisperer comes over from Detroit. And they really have invested in that offensive line.
Okay. Okay.
And I think he's gonna have a super year this year.
Do you think he gets him in the playoffs?
that's a hard division.
Mm.
That Minnesota, Detroit, next year possibly, because he's, first year coach, new offense. It's gonna take some time, but that thing is clicking, man.
You how many wins you give
They've
them?
got some savages, some big boys on their offensive line.
How many wins do you give them?
Woo! I'd say 7, 8.
Okay. Mo, who you got?
Sorry, Kenneth, I couldn't hear you. I was in transition. What'd you say?
Who you got? The second year quarterback. Who you got that you think is going to make some noise?
It's got to be Jaden Daniels because they are surrounding him. Even though they don't have Terry McLaurin right now, I still think they have the best team, and I think they're going to win the division. So I got to choose them.
Okay. Lou, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Drake May.
Okay. Rich, can you hear us? Rich is he left. Rich out buying a new car, guys. He out buying a new car.
Yeah, man, you tell everybody's business.
I sure enough do. I'll tell my business too. Hey, ain't no wrong with buying a new car. I'm getting ready to buy a new car too. I think.
Hey, Rich already told that earlier. Yeah, he told us, but now Kev's telling the whole world.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. The whole world.
Yeah, that's a good call, Bo.
Putting him on glass. Rich gonna be like, yo, I ain't got no money. Man, I looked you up online. I see you buying a new car.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we got that.
I bought some food stamps, but they don't tell nobody.
We got that out the way. So we got a quarterbacks. So team wise, I'm going with the Broncos. I think the Broncos can. I think the Broncos can. I honestly believe it's gonna be hard for them, but because I think you still got Buffalo right there, you got the Ravens right there. But I think the Broncos gonna make. I think the Broncos could possibly win that division because Kansas City really didn't address a lot of stuff on the off season to get them better. Kelsey's a little bit older. They still haven't addressed the wide receiver situation, and I think Tyreek Hill might be the answer for them. Or I mean, Odell Beckham's still out there. He can still get a double team. So I'm going with Denver as my Kool-Aid team. Dana, who you got?
I picked Bo Nix.
No, what team though? What team?
Oh, the team? I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay.
Since I won't be a homer no more, Kev.
Yeah, y'all in trouble right now. They talking about y'all doing a fire sale down in Miami. Ray, who you got?
Right.
Ray, who you got? What team you think gonna make the most noise?
I think it takes 2 years for a person to come back from an ACL. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. Mo, who you got?
Why can't I hear the question? I never heard the question. All I heard somebody just say it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. See, no, I'm gonna choose the Steelers, but I'm not gonna be a homer.
Well, no, that was nothing. You can't be a homer on this one right here. All right. I said, what team do you think?
Okay.
What team other than your team actually? Or would you drink the Kool-Aid? Do you think they can make it to the dance or make some noise?
Oh. I'm gonna have to say the Washington Commanders again.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
I got to roll with the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is the year that they finally get over the hump. They They've been there year after year after year, and I just think that this is the year that they punch it into the Super Bowl.
Okay, Lou, who you have?
Well, even though I'm not a fan of the team, but we're gonna go to Giants.
Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, we got to that.
Hey, Kev, I think you need to ask Lou the question again. You didn't ask who was going to be the worst team in the NFL, right?
Yeah. Stop, man.
What would that be?
He
You believing in the Giants, Lou?
Well, they said the quarterback looked pretty good. The fans want him to start, but they said the schedule was like really rough for them, so he won't probably see no action until maybe the fifth or sixth game.
Nobody likes Russ, man.
They're basically saying, though, why not just throw him to the fire, and get it over with, let him go ahead and get his bumps and bruises now.
Exactly.
Paxton instead of
Dart plays better than Shakur.
But I think that
Shador.
Dable and them guys is trying to keep their job, so that's why they want to put some wins on the board. But I don't know if they're Ray. What's your thoughts on the Giants? Do you think what could happen for them to keep their job, make the playoffs, win 9 games? What's your thoughts on the Giants?
Well, the owner said, Tish said, they have to do something miraculous. That stench of letting Saquon Barkley go is lingering forever.
Yeah.
So I think they have to make the playoffs, man.
Okay. All right.
And they're not going to.
Okay. All righty. He said you heard it from a Giant fan. So we got free agents still out there. Okay, we got Hendricks, we got Terry McClure, we Cook this signed with the Bills. We still have Parsons.
Wait. Yeah, they're not free agents.
I mean, not free agents. Holdouts. Hold-ins. I'm sorry, hold-ins.
Yeah.
They're hold-ins. So you got Terry McClure, you got Michael Parsons, you got Hendricks from Bengals. Now, rumor is that there've been trades that went to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's holding off on the trades. Maybe the trades wasn't good enough to send Hendricks wherever he wants to go or to another team. But let's talk about him first and foremost. Does one player make that big a difference, Ray, on the Cincinnati Bengals team whose defense was ranked 20th last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Because here's the problem.
Okay.
They invested in 2 wide receivers and a quarterback, and the majority of the money goes there. I'd have let T. Higgins walk. You could find another wide receiver. So that put them in a predicament. They can't sign. They got to let Hendrickson go. Hendricks go. And their best thing is hope they'll get a number 1 and a number 3. But you know what? That's why they're the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
The worst thing in the world is to be a cheap billionaire.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about that?
Go ahead, Mo.
The ones are playing the ones right now. The Washington are playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati went down and scored. Washington scored in 4 plays.
Wow.
Yes, one player will make a difference.
Wow.
But he ain't TJ Watt.
But I guess they're gonna have to lose Cincinnati. And if you think about it, Cincinnati's schedule, they took care of Cincinnati this year. I'm gonna be honest with you. They took care of them because this is what they have. First four games, they're at the Browns. That's a coin flip, depending on if the Browns want to play or not, because he's 1 think he's 1-6 against them or something like that. They play the Jaguars, which should be a win. They go to the Vikings, that should be a win because they got a rookie quarterback, give them benefit of doubt. Then they go to the Broncos. So it's a possibility they could go 1, 2, 3. They could be 3-0 before they get to the Broncos, right? I think that's a loss. Then they play Detroit, that probably a loss. They go to Green Bay, depending on the weather, whatever the case may be. If they have if the quarterback's back, that could be a loss. So they kind of they have one of the easy schedules because they was in last place in the division. But man, I mean, it can't get no easier for them. But the thing about it is, though, is Cincinnati's been this way all the time. Like Ray said, I agree with Ray
Wait a minute.
about
Did
Higgins.
you say last in the division?
Huh?
You didn't say last in the division, did you?
No, I said they was next to last in the division. Next to last.
Oh, okay. Who was last?
The Cleveland Browns. They were last. So what's your point?
Carry on.
What you trying to say?
Oh,
I thought you said something about the last playoff game they won. Oh, okay. But
dude, you can hold on to that one little playoff game.
Yep. Every time you say something, I'm going to hold on to it. I don't care about those 6.
We got 6.
They ain't been, not in 2000s. You haven't been. They old. But anyway,
we did. We won in 2008.
That's old.
Y'all ain't watched the 60s. They weren't even Super Bowl.
That's old. That's 2008 is old. But anyway, Cincinnati set up not to fail. But again, we know they start off slow, and that's why they're playing. That's why they're playing their starters right now because they don't want to start off slow again. And the schedule is kind of in their favor to win a couple games, because they don't want to go. They don't want to be 1-3. They don't want to be 2-2. They want to be at least 3-1 in the first month of the season because that keeps them right there next to Baltimore as far as trying to win a division. Now, if they catch fire, then they okay. But man, I don't get it. You pay the man what he's worth and keep it moving. That's all I got to say. He's asking for what he got paid for. Just pay me for what I'm worth. Listen to Joe Burrows and you sign T. Higgins. Again, like with Ray, I don't agree. I agree with Ray about letting T. Higgins walk. Let him walk or franchise him. You know what I'm saying? If you franchise him and somebody wants him, now you get a draft pick back. You get a first round draft pick back, right? That means you get another qualified. You get a rookie wide receiver where you don't have to pay that type of money. Now you can pay Hendricks. Duh. I want to do Jerry and the Bengals owners. Do they drink the same? They sipping out the same wine cup because that sounds too familiar for me when it comes to the Cowboys. So Terry McLaurin, we're still
cheap billionaires.
Yeah, cheap billionaires. So Terry McLaurin still sitting out there, not signed at all. Mo, talk to me, man. Why you think this has not been done yet? Why? Why they taking so long to get it done?
Because they're afraid of giving him too much money and then not being able to afford Jaden McDaniels. That's all it is. That's the only reason. Because they're trying to stay competitive. Terry McLaurin, I think, is 29, and wide receivers don't usually do that well after 30.
So then trade him.
Mike Evans.
So trade him.
No, because they're trying to go this year. They're trying to win this year. It makes no sense. I say pay the man, but I get it. I get it from the money perspective, especially if they think that he's going to be going down if he wants $32 million per year.
The guy's been there all his career. He's dealt with trash quarterbacks since he's been there. Now you got a decent quarterback that got you to the NFC Championship game, and he needs that wide receiver to be there part of that team, and you don't want to pay him. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Is money that tight? If it was, then if money's that tight, then don't own the football team. Don't own the basketball team. You're a millionaire. I mean, you're a millionaire, and You buy a team, and now you're going to pitch.
Can I just say something real quick, Kev?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. They took out T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and left Burrow in the game. He just got sacked by 3 guys. What?
Not a break team.
They are just so stupid.
Is it the first team offense in?
Yes, but without T. Higgins and Chase, so they left it Joe Burrow and took out his best 2 wide receivers. So then he has nobody to throw to who's not going to get open, and then he just gets sacked by 3 guys.
He's coming out after that play.
This makes no sense. They are stupid.
He's coming out. He's coming out next play. He's coming out next play. Actually, that probably was his last play.
It's 4th down now.
He ain't coming back next series.
But that made absolutely no sense.
But that's Cincinnati for you. That's Cincinnati for you. All right, guys. Next up, Michael Parsons situation. So now, this is near and dear to me. And me and Curry had a conversation on Facebook, and I just want to clarify. Maybe my language didn't explain it very clearly. But Curry, what I was saying was, if any owner of a team that I like came out and tell me, I'm just putting this in the media because I want to be in the media, and I don't care about winning, I can't cheer for that team. Basically, that's what Jerry Jones has said. In all honesty, he's like, I'm gonna make us irrelevant even when we're not irrelevant. And it's so bad right now. You got guys on the team that don't even want to talk to the man, that don't want to speak to him, that have profile pictures of Micah right now on our Facebook page because they know what he's doing is wrong. They know what he's doing is wrong. But there's no way I could be a fan of a team, and he comes out and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna make us irrelevant when we're not irrelevant." But it's about winning games. It's about winning Super Bowls. Jerry Jones does not care about winning another Super Bowl. He won 2 Super Bowls when he first got there with Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, right? Or was it 3? Barry with Jimmy won 2, Barry won 1, 3. I think it was 3. Okay, so they won 3 Super Bowls. Since then, they haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl, right? I can't be a fan of that. There's no way possible I could be a fan of that. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. The reason why I'm a Cleveland Browns fan is because of Ernie Davis, of Jim Brown, right? Those are the reasons why I'm a fan of them. But even if the owner came out and said, I don't care, if Hanson come out and say, yo, I'm just here to make money, I don't care if we win or lose, then I'm done. I'm not buying no more product of theirs. I'm not even watching them on TV no more. Because the whole thing about sports is
trying to win.
But the whole thing about sports is you go out to the play.
You don't have to say it. He's showing it.
Well,
you're the Cleveland Browns.
But
you're the laughing stock of the league.
We may have been, but see, what Mo, what you don't understand is when I was a Browns fan, we was running things, right? When I became a Browns fan as a kid,
you were a Browns fan.
No. I'm talking about when I became a Browns fan, we was running things. Brian Sipes, Bernie Kosar, all those guys, they was a good team.
Bernie Kosar didn't win anything.
He won playoff games. Brian Sipes, all those guys.
Did he win a chip?
No, they didn't win Super Bowl. They got to the AFC Championship and lost for whatever reasons it was, but they were competitive, right? They was competitive.
But yeah, you give the Steelers a hard time about being competitive.
No, I don't give the Steelers a hard time about being competitive. I just give Steelers a hard time about every time somebody say something about him, y'all want to talk about he's never had a losing record. But that's not again, that's not the point of playing.
That's the point of being competitive.
No, the point about it is is that if you want that to be your standard, then that's fine and dandy. If you want to go back on your standard saying that's your standard a bit, that's fine and dandy if that's your standard, if that's what you want to do. But again, getting back to the Cowboys, is this right here. The owner said, I don't care. He said, I'm just going to make something up so we can be irrelevant during the off season, during baseball season, during basketball season. That makes no sense to me. How could you be a fan of a team that every year, first thing they say is Cowboys be going to Super Bowl. Cowboys going every year. The teams that we like, we know our teams ain't going to Super Bowl. I know the Browns' chance of going to Super Bowl is slim to none. I know that. The Rams' chance are better, but this year's with the Rams wasn't that good. I wasn't gonna say the Rams going to Super Bowl. But this is what the Cowboy fans say, because realistically they really do believe it. They really do believe it. But then you got an owner that comes out and says what he says. And I've talked to some Cowboy fans. I invited some Cowboy fans to come on the show tonight so we can talk about it. Because I want you to tell me why you're still a Cowboy fan. If he sits there and says, yo, I just want to make us irrelevant. If I can do that, then I did my job. No, that's not your job. Your job is to sign checks and put a product on the field that make fans proud of, that a competitive team that's supposed to win, that they're supposed to go to NFC championship games and win Super Bowls. Somebody name me the last top free agent that went to Dallas.
They don't do that.
Exactly.
That's not what they're about. They're not about that. Here's what he is about. He's about headlines. I'm telling people, the first game against the Cowboys, Jerry Jones will sign Micah Parsons.
His greatest reality show on turf.
But the thing about it,
that's what he wants to do.
But let me ask y'all, if the teams that y'all like, if your owners came out and said what he said, could y'all still be a fan?
Yes, because here's the thing. The owner is the owner. They come and go. You like the team because you're loyal to that team. Listen, one of the greatest blunders ever was the Giants allowing Saquon Barkley to go to the Eagles. I can't stand the owner, but I still love the Giants.
Yeah, Ray, but Giants but he never came out and said he's never came out and said, I'm putting a product on the field just to put a product on the field because I gotta do that.
That's two separate issues. You're gonna love the team. I'm not leaving the team because of the owner.
And I'm not.
Yeah, Kevin. Here's where I think you're missing it, is because a lot of owners don't say nothing, but they say a lot by what they do or what they don't do.
And that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. If this be quiet and don't say nothing at all. But if you come out and make the comment that he made,
you're not going to.
No, I know they're not going to do it, because you know why? Because nobody's going to want that product. But Cowboy fans,
I don't think it's a product, because before any game is started, these guys get $450 million in their coffers.
Only thing, Jerry,
so, they're expanding. They're trying to do. It's about some people are about money, and some people are about money and about winning. Whether you're an Eagles fan or not, you gotta like what they do down there in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
They make changes. They spend money. They lock it down. They're serious about it. Other people aren't. And here's the thing: people will say, "Well, I'm a billionaire. I'm going to run my team the way I want to run my team." So because somebody runs the team that way, fans aren't going to change. That's a separate entity.
I gotta disagree with that, because
so let me ask you this. Are you going to stop liking the Browns because of the owner?
If he would have come out and say what Jerry Jones said, yes, I would. I'll be done with him.
Here's the thing.
Because
that's not the worst thing. Listen, that's not the worst thing that he could say. Look, so you're going to throw away all those years of rooting for the Browns based upon what an owner says?
Yep. If he would have come out and say that, I would be done. Because at the end of the day, as a fan, I want to see my team win, regardless of how they blunder.
So what about the years when the Browns weren't winning? You didn't say anything.
That was good with you?
I was still a fan. Even now, I'm gonna say this. I wasn't a fan of him owning the team. I didn't want him to own the team. I wanted somebody else to come get the team, right? And because he was,
you don't own that position though.
No, I'm just saying, if I had to choose somebody, he wouldn't have been the person to own the team, because he wants instant gratification of wins, and that goes to show you why behind the Deshaun Watson situation, because there's no way in the world he should have he should have went out and did what he did with Deshaun Watson. He set the team back almost 5 years. Well, Cleveland has not had a quarterback, a consistent quarterback in years, in over 20 some years, right? You go get Deshaun Watson.
Now, are you upset with him for trying with Deshaun Watson?
Yes, I am
he
upset.
Made an effort.
The reason why I'm upset with it because they knew the situation that was going to happen with him after they signed him, and they knew what was going to happen after they signed him, and they gave him all that guaranteed money. The NFL messed it. Let me say, the NFL, the commissioner messed it up, because I think if he would have had the opportunity to play that first year, Cleveland would have been all right, because you had the two running backs, the tight end, the wide receivers, you had the great defense. But him having to sit out a whole year and come back and play, and you not have that same team that you built, that you was going to have around him, I think it caused an issue. I'm not mad at his effort. I'm not mad at his effort. My thing is that if you want to win, and if you want to win, then look at the bigger picture, because basically what you did was you built the team around Deshaun Watson, and it failed. And your GM and your coach.
I thought he only missed 6 games with Cleveland. He sit out a whole year when he was with Houston.
No, he missed more than 6 games with Cleveland.
He sat out like 11 games.
He sat out almost the whole season with Cleveland, because it's supposed to have been
the first year.
It was supposed to be.
They only paid him $1 million, and he sat out like 11 games.
It was supposed to be 8 games, and they came back and said, "Hold up, wait a minute, time out. No, it needs to be a whole year." And that's what messed it all up right there. That's what messed it all up.
I'm sorry, but Cleveland is not the worst. Is not the worst run team. Joe Burrow is still in the game. They value T. Higgins and Chase more than they value Burrow.
Well, maybe they got good backup quarterbacks. But Ray, what I'm saying though, I get your point, right? I don't like the team for the owner, right? But then the reason why I like the Browns is because of the owner that set the precedence, where he drafted Jim Brown. He drafted Ernie Davis, the first black Heisman Trophy winner, who was supposed to be drafted by the Washington Redskins, who the owner was Jack King Cook. He said, "I'm not drafting no niggers. Trade him to the Browns." That's where my allegiance lies, is because of that right there. That's where my allegiance lies with all my teams, because of the black history that they created. For me, that's why I like the teams I like. But at the end of the day, if the owner comes out and says to me, "I'm just going to put a product on the field, and I could care less if we win or lose," then I got a problem with that, because that's not, if you're there to do that, then sell the team. Get your money and go on out, get your profit and go on about your business.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Joe Burrow just got slammed to the ground.
Oh Lord Jesus.
They called it for a horse collar. When have you
man.
What have you ever seen a quarterback get a horse collar call? The referees know that he needs to be out the game.
But anyways, my whole thing is this right here, and this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying my opinion is wrong, because it's my opinion, but everybody else has their own opinion. But I guarantee you, if the owners came out and said exactly what Jerry Jones said, you would question. You would like, "Yo, do I really want to like this team anymore?" Because, and to be honest with you, the NFL need to make him. They need to buy that team from him, because the fans don't deserve that. They as much as I hate the Cowboys and I hate the Cowboy fans, they don't deserve that. I'm just talking from as an analyst. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve it. Every year, I'm going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. And
so Kevin.
Yes.
they signed Micah Parsons before first game of the season. They go 10 and 7, make the playoffs. This is all forgotten. The Cowboys fans they know who Jerry is. It's like the Knicks fans with Dolan. You know who he is. You just ignore the guy. You know what it is? I'm just gonna say this. I don't know who. I'm gonna say this. Who supports what? It's like people in America with Trump. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just ignore what they say.
I personally think you're overreacting on it. I think I don't think you'll find a Cowboy fan anywhere that will agree with you that they need to ditch their team.
Oh, they're not.
Like I told you,
they're not going to do
I'm
it.
a Dolphins fan. I've been a Dolphins fan since 1971. I'm not a big fan of Stephen Ross, but I'm not going to stop pulling for the team because I don't care for the owner. I pull for the team. I don't care. You know what? I'm going to tell you like this. If Donald Trump bought the Dolphins today, I still will pull for the Miami Dolphins. So that's just the way I feel about the Dolphins. I'm not going to change my perception of the team.
But it's, I'm not trying. That's. But see, the thing about it is everybody, y'all forgetting what he said. The comment he made. Oh, I'm gonna make my team irrelevant when they're not irrelevant. But that's not the point. Is trying to make them better. That's the point. Is trying to make them better to win.
I think you're overreacting on it. I don't see anybody leading.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Jerry Jones. Do anybody here believe Jerry Jones cares about winning the Super Bowl?
No, I agree with that, but I don't think that what he said
do anybody believe that Jerry Jones believe in making people rich?
He's making them rich.
Exactly. So, and even when he made the comment about Des Bryant said, like, yo, we don't want to open up the can of worms. We don't want to open up the can of worms. He said, let's leave that. He said, let sleeping dogs lie. He said, let sleeping dogs lie.
He's irrelevant anyway.
You know what I'm saying? And he really took care. He took care of Des Bryant. But again, he said, yo, let sleeping dogs lie. I'm just saying, as much as I love.
And did he take care of CeeDee Lamb? Did he take care of Emmitt Smith? Did he take care of Dak?
But Ray,
he's gonna take care of Micah.
I'm not. But I'm not. I'm not saying he's not gonna take care of Micah. I'm not saying at all. I'm not saying. It's not even about Micah anymore. It's about the comment that he made. And the thing about it is, like, CeeDee Lamb's like, yo, pay the dude what he's worth. Dak Prescott, all of them are behind Micah getting paid, right? They're all like, yo, just pay the guy. Mm-hmm. But Jerry gonna give a hand. So he's doing a backdoor handshake with the guy. He's never talked. He never talked to his agent. He's never had a conversation with his agent.
All the Dallas Cowboy players should just quit the team today?
There's some that's gonna stick around because they like Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, again, just my opinion. Any team I like, if the owner come out and says, I'm just here, we're gonna be entertained for the preseason and off season, and winning is not important to me. But I'm making money. Okay, then no, I'm not following you, because again, it's all about winning. The whole thing of playing the game is you play to win the game. And Jerry Jones could care less if they win or lose, right? He said that. He said that.
But you're about the only person in America that really upset.
I'm not upset about it, but I'm just saying I don't think it's fair to the fans to make that comment. Even if you think, like Ray said, there's some owners might think about it. If you think about it, if you think about it and don't say it, that's fine. But when you say it, then it becomes reality to people. That's all I'm saying. And I just wanted to hear from the Dallas Cowboy fans on what they think, because again, if I'm sitting down, and how many times have we seen people, if it's true or not true, Cowboys lose a game, bust the TV up, throw away every gear, burn it, do whatever they do, right? on social media. So if I'm one of those
That's
fans,
Facebook stuff, man.
if
You
if
can't believe
if
everything you see
if
there.
if I'm one of those if I'm one of those fans, I'm like, man, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing that. I mean, I saw a Knicks fan when Boston was in the middle of their transition lose to the Knicks. I mean, lose to Boston. I think it was Christmas Day by like 30 some points. Dude took his hat,
Yeah.
he took his jersey, he took it, burned it, put it in the snow. He said, "I'm done with him." That's much a diehard fan is. So I believe Cowboy fans are that crazy that
But
they'll
you
do
know
that.
what, too? Here's the thing. I think I've spoken to enough Cowboy fans. They look at Jerry as their crazy uncle. That's how they look at the man.
I'm just saying, man. Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing at all, and we'll be good. That's all I'm saying. Don't even make the comment. Don't even make the comment at all. If you don't make the comment, then we good. If you make the comment, then it's out there to be talked about. You know. But again, I think he's gonna pay Micah his money. I'm and I think that the situation right now is that he got drafted as a linebacker, but now they got him as a defensive end. But how do you pay him? Do you pay him as a linebacker? Or do you pay him as a defensive end? You know, so do you make him?
He's who you talk about, Micah?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Micah's gonna get one of the richest contracts ever.
Oh, but so the question goes to say this: Does Micah make more than Myles Garrett? Does he make more than T.J. Watt? Does he make more than the other defensive players?
Yeah. Look what Jerry did with that. Changed the whole structure of the quarterback. Overpaid him because he's a Cowboy. That's what he does. I swear he's a crazy uncle. He's festered.
I'm just so Mo. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you think Micah should get T.J. Watt's money, T.J. Watt, J.J. Watts, whatever the Watt it is? You think he should get that type of money?
4 years in the NFL, 4 years Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
No question.
And I'm not doubting that. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I'm gonna say this, that in his rookie year, he probably got all his incentives in his rookie year. Rookie of the year, went to the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So all the incentives they probably had in his contract, he probably got those his first year. You know, and the part that really bothers me the most is like Micah's like, yo, take care of me. He said, take care of me last year. He says money's not a factor right now. He said, I just want to be a Cowboy. I just want to be a Cowboy for the rest of my life. This is a team I grew up liking, and I want to be a Cowboy. Money was never an issue for him. You know, he just like, yo, can you last year before everybody's paychecks went up, he's like, yo, you can pay me now. And he'd have been happy.
If money's not an issue, then go ahead and play out your last year of your contract.
Well, the thing about it is, though, he's going to get $24 million.
Money is an
issue. He's going to get $24 million. But the thing about it is that they could have had a contract for him last year, and Jerry didn't do it. Jerry, if you listen to Jerry Jones talk, he said, "I wait later than earlier," and then he made a comment. Well, if I pay him now, he gets hit by a car, he can't play. Come on, man. If every GM thought like that, would nobody get paid?
If you were running the team, you might look at it a little different.
Again, if your money's that tight, then don't be an owner. But if every GM look at it like that, would nobody get paid? See,
it's Jerry way. He's gonna wait till the 11th hour to pay the man. He always does. He doesn't just up.
Well, I'm not.
He did the same thing with Emmitt Smith. And he's not. That's just the way he does things. So if you're not used to it by now, you'll never get used to it. He's not gonna pay anybody early.
But then again, by him not doing that, this goes back to what his comment was, because you're not going to make a team. You're not going to be able to be a competitive team to win a Super Bowl, because now your money is going to be divvied out to 3 individual players. When you got an offensive line that you have to pay, your left tackle, your right guard, whatever, they're going to be paid. They have to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So now here we go with a problem again. Ain't no free agents going to Dallas, and you ain't getting no coaches go to Dallas, because that man lives on bananas. It's simple as that. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's crazy to me. I mean, it's entertaining for some people, but again, when it comes to sports, if you're not in it to win it, then why are you there? Because that's the whole purpose of sports.
He can get a coach to come there. He just don't want a coach that he can't dictate what he want him to do. That coach is gonna answer to Jerry. He don't want somebody that thinks they can run his team. That's the same thing he told Jimmy Johnson. He said, "I bought this team, and this is my team, and this is the way I run it." And that's why him and Jimmy parted ways, because Jerry had the bigger head, and he didn't want to give Jimmy his due. He wanted to say it was all his doing.
And if you listen to the players that played for for Jimmy Johnson, they give him all the praise. They don't say nothing about Jerry. They don't comment.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say what Jerry says. I know the players and the players may say something different, but Jerry's the type of person. He just got this big ego, man, and nobody's gonna take it away from him.
I personally think there's something wrong with him. I really do. I'm telling you right now. I think health wise, he's not doing well. There's just something's not there. Something's not right there. Because they just said something about he had cancer. He beat cancer. I know they saying something about he beat cancer or something in an interview or something. But again, I'm just saying, me as a fan, when I watch my team play, as bad as the Browns are, I know they'll mess it up some kind of way. That's in my heart that they'll do that. They'll find a way to lose. They'll do something. I remember one game they won, and the player took his helmet off on the field. I was like, oh my God, it's a 15-yard penalty. Now we lost the game. They do that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff they do. But I'm still a fan, because that's a player doing it. But that's just me. That's me talking about. That's me being me and speaking my opinion on the Dallas Cowboys. But it is what it is. Guys, we at 9:00 right now. It's a good thing because my voice is getting really bad. I have a sinus infection, but it's going away. But I think we had a pretty decent conversation today. What's going on? Mm-hmm. But we got one more preseason game left. Let's go around the horn. Mo, what did you see from the Steelers that you were impressed with, and what you have worries about?
We got some good quality wide receivers and some backup quarterbacks, so I'm good with that. My biggest concern is still the backup offensive line. If we don't get any better at tackle, if one of our guys go down, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay. Dana, give me since you and Curry both like the same team, Dana, give me offensively. What did you see offensively that you was happy about with the Dolphins?
The offensive line and a couple of the young receivers. I'm not impressed with the secondary though.
Okay. Curry, what are you not impressed with about the Miami Dolphins?
Well, he kind of took the secondary from me, but that's I think is a glaring weakness there, and I think they still got a chance to address it a little bit if they want to pick up one of these guys that's out there, but they just don't want to overpay these guys. But I'm impressed with their front seven. I think if everybody stays healthy on that front seven, you're going to see one of the best front sevens in football.
Okay. Ray, New York Giants, what's the good thing and bad thing?
The good thing is that defensive line. That's going to be a problem. Abdul Carter, Burns, those guys are gonna put a lot of pressure on people. I think don't rush the rookie quarterback. Take your time with him. You got Russell Wilson, do your thing. We're gonna have some problems on the offensive line. Just play the game out.
Okay. Lou, you like the Jets? Let's talk about the Jets first. Good thing or bad thing for the Jets?
Well, compared to what happened like from week 1 to week 2, I mean, it was a big disappointment. In week 1, they were, right on target with both the offense and defense. They were a pullover against the Giants, with the new quarterback Jackson Dart. They got to be more consistent on the key plays and work well on the defense. Their offense was good, but their defense needed a lot of work.
Okay. What about your Cowboys? What did you see?
Well, first thing I did is get a new owner, but that's not going to happen. But Cowboys, you need to work on. Last year the defense was miserable. They need to get on defense. It's going to be a long season, Big D this year. Because I really feel like kind of middle of the pack at best.
Okay. Let me see. Rich is probably gone. So Rich is gone. All right. What we got left? Me. So with the Browns, good thing. They got the wide receiver Davis. He looks really good. With the flow of the game. Defensively, I think cornerbacks. We got some issues with the cornerbacks. But again, the NFL is made for wide receivers to get open, stay open, can't touch them, can't even smell them, can't even breathe on them. So I see an issue with the defense right there. Um, we already lost one defensive player. So the kid they drafted, Kirksey, not Kirksey, I can't think of his name. The linebacker they built. He didn't play the second game, so I guess they saw enough for him for him to be a starter. For the Rams, I'm really impressed with Bennett, the way he's come back from being a rehab for his alcohol. That's just my opinion. That's not facts. I think that's why he was way. That's why he was away all year last year. Um, defensively, I think they look really. I think the Rams look really good. The only issue could be is Stafford in his back. That may be a holdup. I'm really excited to watch them play this year with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams made a comment. He said he said this is the most disciplined team he ever been on before. He said everybody knows their job. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. He said nobody slacks around. Nobody's on their cell phones. He said you go from one station to another station. He said sits and talks and they don't sit and talk. They talk about football, good, bad, or different. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Sean McVay wasn't coaching the game the other night. It was assistant coach, and the guy, whoever the guy, I can't think of his name right now, but he probably might be the next. He might be our next head coach coming through the pike. So Rams, I really didn't see anything that bad with them defensively. I just think they're ready for the season to start because there's high expectations for them. Again, like I said, I think a lot relies on Matt Stafford. Jimmy is our backup, but I think Bennett played well enough in preseason to be the third quarterback on the team. Would that be?
I'll say this about the Rams. I like what they did because when they went for the Super Bowl, they pushed all their chips to the center, and they went and got that championship. They won it, and then they let some players get away, and then they had to start over and go through the draft. But they hit on them draft picks, and they got some good draft picks. And I honestly think the Rams will win that division this year.
Yeah, I think they will too.
If they stay healthy.
I don't see. I think the 49ers lost too much. That's what I think. Arizona might be a squeaker, a sleeper in there. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me again tonight. Next Monday night, I probably won't be on because I'll be coming back from New Orleans.
Okay.
So Mo, that's the last Monday. That's the last Monday in August. So we do one. Let's do Tuesday night because Monday's a holiday, right? So let's do Tuesday night so we can get the picks in and stuff like that. Is that cool?
Me.
I think I have something to do that Tuesday, but maybe.
In the draft is coming up, right?
I'll call in.
Yeah. Yeah, the draft is coming up.
I think what we should do is we should put them in as sleeper. We should all do like our pick 'em as sleeper.
Huh? We'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right, guys. Appreciate you for hanging in there with me as always.
Yes, sir.
Had a good time.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by kdix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.